Hi, my name is Jessica Scott Dunda, and today I'm talking about best practices for engaging all learners. Um, this would be any sort of student with exceptionalities, 504s, gifted, linguistic, ESOL, those with behavioral or emotional needs, Gen Ed, students that have just immigrated to the country, any sort of students, so all learners. So, and this is basically coming from strategies from our interview with a good friend of mine, an African American woman who has a doctorate in special education and has been teaching for about 20 years in Philadelphia, Mexico, and Florida. So she and I have worked together for a long time, and I teach art to K-5 students, about 855 students. I see every 7 days, and my interviewee teaches about 20 students in a self-contained special education school. So between those two things, we are able to come up with an overview of some strategies to help teachers engage all learners. So the first thing is cooperation. Using interdependence and cooperative learning strategies helps those rules, routines, and procedures become commonplace. That gives students, when they know what to expect, when they know that what their role is every day and consistently, that gives them a feeling of purpose, stability. They can relax, they can trust the process, and they're part of the process. So they're actively engaged because they're invested as an engaged participant in making the classroom work. They rely on one another. And everyone is special, everyone's different, everyone's important, everyone has a job and a place. Empathy, I think empathy is probably the most important thing that you teach. We teach explicitly emphatic listening. We do that through listening circle. So every single day, we go through, we sit in a circle. We have non-academic talk. We take turns. We look at each other in the eye. We practice sitting still, not looking around the room, paying attention to the speaker, using, nodding, or smiling, or we use this like a nonverbal "I agree" or something because kids, instinctively want to yell out like "I agree, yes, I know that too." But we really want to just teach them to listen and to listen, not to reply, but to listen just to be there, just to support someone and really take in what they're saying. So it's not necessarily to respond. It's to be there for that person, because empathy, we teach them, is that we care about each other. And if we care about each other, we listen to one another. We don't speak over one another, and we care. So that's a huge team builder. That's a huge way, especially with non-academic questioning. What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What'd you do this weekend? What's your favorite part of school? They get to know each other, and then that kind of leads into some other things, like we can teach how to compliment. When you teach students how to compliment one another, it's a non-academic, right? But it builds up the team. It builds up their self-efficacy. It builds up their confidence, their self-determination, and that makes the academics so much easier. So we actually teach explicit complimenting, and we use superficial complimenting to begin. I like your eyes, I like your smile, I like your hair, I like your shoes, I like your backpack, I like your handwriting. But then it goes into, as they get to know each other and they get more comfortable with the process of complimenting and receiving compliments, they can get a little deeper into it, into some more real, deeper compliments. Like, I like the way you're always very helpful, or I like that I can trust you. I know that you helped that kid go to the nurse that day when he was sick. I know that you always have a positive attitude. So they kind of learn that complimenting helps with gratitude and to support one another in the classroom culture of positivity. Conflict resolution, huge. You don't want a bunch of nonsense going on. So we actually, the interviewee and myself actually use the Tree of Choices, which was created by Character Strong. It's a social emotional curriculum we don't actually have anymore in Florida, but it's really good. And so we still use like the verbiage, which is you can talk it out, breathe it out, or walk it out. And so that teaches children 3 strategies. And then when they're talking it out, they really need to learn to apologize. And they do that. They learn to apologize by kind of, saying what happened to each other, apologizing, saying, I'm going to try not to do that in the future. And then the recipient of the apology actually, we teach them to say, thank you for apologizing. So that is a good conflict resolution. And then we teach them, is it a big problem or a small problem? If it's a big problem, they just need to go to an adult. If it's a small problem, they need to try to do those 3 strategies. And a lot of times that will help. Cultural diversity, we try really hard. I know in Florida, social studies is kind of pushed to the side. It's not necessarily standardized, tested yet. And it's just pushed to the side. So one of the things we really try to teach is we pull our own social studies curriculum, and then we integrate it and fold it into the literature, or the ELA block, and the writing block, so that they can learn about different genders, different cultures, different significant people in society that may not have, been highlighted in some of the normal curriculum. So we kind of try to branch out from there, as well as geography and mapping has kind of been pushed to the side. So we try to bring that back in, so there's more of like a worldview. 3 real life programs or projects that the interviewee and I have worked on collaboratively over the years to teach hands-on, student-led, project-based learning that have been successful are Pinwheels for Peace, Bowls of Hope, and the UNICEF TAP program. So I've gone ahead, you can Google all of those, but basically Pinwheels for Peace wraps around the International Day of Peace. Bowls of Hope wraps around the month of hunger awareness. And UNICEF TAP is a way that we use classroom business models where students make goods or art, and then they sell those at a farmer's market or some other online student-led store, and then the proceeds go to charities to help students around the world get clean drinking water. Bowls of Hope, the students create artwork. They sell their artwork at a large charity. It's a national project, and then those monies go to food banks. And then Pinwheels for Peace is an international art installation. The students make paper pinwheels. It's for world, like the circle, world peace. And it teaches like no bullying, like empathy, like getting along with one another. And then, we tie it into a worldview. So those are just a couple projects that are beneficial in teaching cultural diversity to all students and engaging them. Thank you.